Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to stay. I'm sorry. What the girl on the bottom? Days boy. Is that what your username is? If I'm reading that
Yeah.
correctly. Um, you were sitting there mocking the other girl that was on there before, talking about it's cis tears or whatever the case is. But what's funny to me is because if that was a trans person right there crying, y'all definitely would not be saying that, right?
We are
Wait, 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 wait,
trans.
wait, wait, wait. You thought I was mocking.
She
You
wasn't
were.
Wait. No, no,
crying.
no, no.
You
Wait.
know that,
No,
right?
I do
Wait.
understand that.
I wanna ask you something. What part did you come in for?
I've been in here for quite some time.
So when she was
Were
out here
you
just when she was out here just blatantly disrespecting my pronouns, when she was out here just like
No, when
saying
you said your
we have a mental
pronouns,
health downs.
when you said
Yes.
that you're about your pronouns, she goes, okay, then I want to be referred to as this. And you looked at her and was like, wow, you're mocking me. When she didn't say anything about your pronouns, all she said was
what?
what she wants to be referred to
Do you
as.
think that she's not mocking pronouns when she said, "I want to be known by these adjectives"?
So
That's
why can't
She
somebody
mocking
didn't even
pronouns.
why can't she be
she didn't
referred to
even
as
she
adjectives?
wait. She didn't even say, okay, well, what why do you go by those pronouns? She didn't even ask that. She just blatantly said, oh well, I go by this, that, and
Now you
third.
have to call me pretty. That was the
Exactly.
direct response.
I
Was
mean,
now
you
you
didn't
have to
have
call me
to.
But
pretty
didn't
First of
you
all,
because
dictate that you
you
want
have
to be
she did
pronouns.
called
not
he?
have to.
Didn't you dictate
Yes.
to her that you want to be called he? So what's the problem with her dictating what she wants to be called, regardless of if it's a pronoun or an adjective? Why does it matter to you?
Do you not see the attitude she's displayed while she said that?
It doesn't matter what attitude she has. If that's what she wants to be referred to, then why is that a problem? Just
That's
like
the
you want to
issue.
be referred to
Tina,
something.
Tina, Tina,
So
that's
why is
the
it a
issue.
problem?
That's the issue.
But she didn't
Because
say, the thing is, she
when
did
I
not say
actually
anything
want
about your pronouns.
let me speak. So when I specifically wanted to be called he, they, she all she could have said was okay, and then continued what she was saying.
But isn't this what y'all
She didn't have
advocate
to
for?
she did not
Putting your
have
pronouns on the table, be like, okay, my name is this and my pronouns are this. So then when she does it, when somebody else does it
You know
and you
what,
don't agree
Tina?
with
again,
it, then it's a
You know
problem.
what, Tina?
we
In
know what
real
her
life,
intention was when she did this.
in real
It's
life,
not it's
it's
and
it's
first
a
of all,
lot
pronouns are not a
easier.
joke. Pronouns are not a joke. Pronouns are
You
not
know what?
something that you just that like you could just disrespect off the rip. You do realize that in society, right, we're addressed by our pronouns, whether we like it or not. If someone be like, oh well, I don't go by those pronouns, if we say, oh, there's they them pronouns, there's these are pronouns, there's mixture of pronouns, they're over here like, well, I don't have pronouns. That's a lie, because if you are addressed by he, she, he, her, whatever pronouns you decide to do, then those are pronouns. I'm not going to sit
Mhm.
here and try to educate her just because I go by different pronouns than she does. I'm not going to sit here and be like, okay, well, you can address me as her since you feel comfortable with it. That's not fair to me because I feel uncomfortable call, being addressed as she, her. I'm not gonna like again. Came off the rip disrespecting, and again, I'm not disrespectful. Like, I'm not, anyone in this chat
Okay,
can tell
so
you
can
anytime
I
I'm
talk? Can I
not
say what I want to
disrespectful.
say?
Wait. I'm not disrespectful. But if someone comes out here and be disrespectful, I will give that same energy. That's how I do. That's why you came in here, and that's why I was doing what I was doing.
And that's great. I always say that. I said, whatever energy you dish out is the energy that you will receive. I've always been an advocate of that. But what my thing is, when she said, okay, then I want to be referred to as this, are you going to call me that? And you had a little mocking session there with you and this other person here. But again, my question is, why is it a problem? If that's the way that person feels and that's how she wants to be addressed, what's the issue?
That
Because
it's
if I look
clearly
at,
not.
let me finish. Can I
So
finish? Can I finish my statement? Because if I look at you and I think that you are not the pronoun that you claim that you are, and you correct me, I have to go by that, right? Okay, so that's what she did. She was like, listen, you may look at me and say I'm a she, but I don't want to be referred to that. So I want to be referred to as this.
Never said
Why is that a
never said
problem?
she didn't want to be referred to as she, her. She never said she wanted to be referred to as she, her. She
But
only
she
said,
told you.
I want to be referred to as pretty. Those
No,
are my
you.
adjectives.
So why
And
is
that
that a
is
No, she
problem?
told me
mocking
to refer
our
to her
pronouns.
as beautiful and stuff like that.
And
And
do you have an
okay,
issue referring
and
to her as that?
No,
as
but
she did
she
to
has an
me,
issue.
I did to her. So I mean, again, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and respect your
Tina,
pronouns if you
Tina,
cannot
here's the
respect mine.
difference. Tina, here's the difference is that that woman misgendered days and then turned
From
around
off the
and said,
rip.
call me this. And then when Days was like, wait a second, you didn't even respect my pronouns. Why am I going to respect what you're saying? She went off the rails about crying as a straight woman or something. You know, like, how can you look at that and say, oh, she's a serious person who seriously wants people to refer to her as pretty, and we should respect that?
I mean, because you were up here advocating that people should be believing what they don't believe with other people because that person believes a certain thing. You were just advocating that I should think
But
a
there's
certain way because other people think of themselves
I'm
as a
not
certain way,
telling
and
you.
that's completely
You know what?
but
You know
false.
what, Tina?
Tina, wait, but Tina, there's a difference between someone actually identifying as those pronouns and someone mocking those
Mhm.
pronouns.
But
Mhm.
I could sit up here right now and say that you're mocking pronouns as
She was
well.
blatantly mocking the pronouns that I go by.
Mhm.
And again, if that was the case, if that was the case, I could have said, yo, well, beautiful and stuff like I could have went by her logic, but I didn't because I already knew from the jump that she was gonna be disrespectful.
And that was the
So
thing
why
is
am
that
I
she
sitting
was
here?
always
Why am I sitting
disrespected.
here? Why am I sitting here burning my brain cells trying to refer to her pronouns if she can't respect the logic that I have a different pronoun that she does? It just doesn't
And
make any
like,
sense.
here's the point I want to get to, right? Is like in real life, I wish someone would come to me in real life and said, I'm not going to refer to you as they, them. You look like a she, her to me. I wish someone would say that because you know, at my job, I told my boss, hey, I go by they, them pronouns. I wish for you to tell our employees that, inform them of that. And that was the end of it. No one's come to me complaining. No one's misgendered me if they didn't already know that I went by those pronouns. It's a non it's maybe a conscious effort. If someone comes to you and says, "Oh, I know my legal name is, Tina, but I prefer to go by Jennifer," whatever it is, right? You say, "Okay, Jennifer." And then maybe you slip up sometimes, say, "Tina, oh, sorry, I mean Jennifer. I was gonna tell you blah 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 blah." And then you move on with your life. It's really that simple.
So if this doesn't
And it's
happen in real life,
just
if you're
so
talking about this whole
infuriating.
pronoun thing that it's in real life that it's not an issue, then why are you advocating it online and arguing with people online over it? If this problem is not happening in real life.
Frankly, for a little bit of fun. And because I know people love to disagree about this. If I'm being honest, I started this live because I was bored.
I mean, I feel like the objective truth, he and she does equal man
But
and woman, and
genuinely,
we refer to
I
men
do
as he,
advocate for
women
these
as
things
she.
in real life. I advocate
Okay,
for these things.
but yes, we have that logic. It's pretty simple, but
But what you're
at the same
asking
time,
people
if
is to go
someone
against
is
logic because your
wait, wait,
subjective
wait, wait,
point of
wait, wait,
view.
wait,
What
wait,
is your
wait,
logic?
Tina, I
Your
let you
logic is
speak.
not my logic.
But there's an objective reality. The objective reality is that all this is just completely false. This is coming from your subjective
You know
point of
what's
view and
false?
this
You
person's
know what's
subjective point of
false?
view.
You know what's
Yes.
false? The fact that y'all minds are in 1850, 1780. Like, come on, bruh. Like it's literally 2022. We should not be arguing about, oh well, since you look like this, I'm gonna call you by
Okay, so
this.
can I ask you a question,
First of
Days?
all, wait. So if I say, I have this name, but I my friends call me by this, are you going to disrespect me and call me by that name instead of calling me the name that I want to be
You could call
called?
me
Like it
whatever you
just
want to
doesn't.
call me. I'm just not going to answer you.
And that's the same thing for me. If I'm being called
Um,
with, I'm not going to answer to you. That's the same thing. Just like with pronouns, if you don't call me by my correct pronouns, I can address it. But if you're just gonna
mhm,
like keep doing it, I'm going to just ignore you because it's the same thing.
mhm.
Okay, so can I ask you a question? Do
Go
you
ahead.
think that pronouns are referred to somebody's gender? Do you think
They are the
pronouns
language
are
we
towards
use.
gender?
It,
Yes, it's the language we use to address our gender and language.
Okay, so I'm Days Boy. I'm guessing that you
yeah,
refer
it's
to
how
yourself
you
as a boy.
address. I'm literally non-binary.
So if you're non-binary, then how did you come up with pronouns he?
My
Do you
pronouns
understand
are he, they.
non-binary people, Tina? What's your
I mean,
understanding of
this
non-binary
is what
people?
I'm asking questions, and all I'm
No,
asking for is answers. Because you
I'm
said
literally
earlier
answering
that
you.
your pronouns are he and him, but now that you talk about being
No, my
non-binary,
pronouns
now
are he and they.
okay, so he and they.
My
So
pronouns are he and they.
what? But you believe Days? You believe that pronouns do equal gender or no?
Not in, they're not
It
like
could be
it's
Wait,
the
no, I
language
want
we
they're
use.
not
I'm
exclu-
asking Days this.
wait, hold on.
Okay, great. Yeah, that was
They're
our whole
not
talking about it.
exclusive to each other, but if the pronouns are matching with your gender, then why not call someone by their pronouns if
But
the pronouns
no,
like
it's
yeah,
a simple yes or
I
no
don't
question.
get it.
Honestly a simple yes or no question. Do you think that pronouns are
I mean, that's not a
have
simple
some
question because
correlation towards
no,
gender?
Yes.
it's not a simple question
I feel like
because
that is a simple question.
it's everyone is different. Like
If
just
everybody's
because I'm
different, then
non-binary
how do you
doesn't
make a
mean my
stance on
pronoun.
that?
Wait. Just because I'm non-binary doesn't mean I don't. I exclusively use they them.
Okay,
So
but
That's
why
why
yeah,
would
it's
I
you
asked that
different
would you
for
feel
question.
uncomfortable with the pronouns she and her?
yes.
Why?
I don't. Well, at first I identify as all pronouns, but as I like grew up and stuff, that's the pronouns I completely associate myself with is he
Okay,
they.
but why? Why would you feel uncomfortable with she and her if pronouns don't
Good
equal gender?
question. Why does
Because that's
gender dysphoria exist? Like, why do
Because
they?
it's a mental health issue, and
Yeah,
there's
so
plenty of mental
people.
health issues that exist.
Yeah, so you're not
oh
gonna
right. So
like
me so
tell
But
someone
I'm
me
asking
trying to
you.
feel
But Days,
comfortable
I'm
with
asking you.
myself.
Just they
like
don't
Tina.
equal
They
gender.
don't
Then what's the
associate with
problem?
me. I'm telling you that
Tina,
they don't associate with
if
me.
someone
I
said,
told you
if
everyone
someone
is
called
different.
you, if someone called you a man, in your mind you're gonna say, I know this is not true, so I can discredit this. This is not true. This does not apply to me. The same thing happens when you use the pronouns that someone doesn't associate themselves with. If someone calls me by she her pronouns, I go, well, they're kind of dumb. They don't really understand me as a person, and that I don't really associate with those pronouns. Okay, I'm going to discredit that. That's how I operate in this
Okay, but
world.
how do we teach people? How do we teach people this if it's based on what the individual is feeling? How do you teach that as a whole? How do you expect people to be more educated on this topic when y'all don't even have
You
answers yourself?
teach people to respect others. If someone tells you these are my pronouns and you want to respect that person, you use those pronouns.
But
If
you
you
tell
don't
people
want
to
to
educate
respect that
themselves on
person,
this topic, but when somebody like me comes along and I ask
Yes, it's
questions,
literally
it's a
it's
problem. You have
literally
no
all
answers to what I'm
there.
it's
asking. So
not a
how is
problem.
somebody like me or anybody else supposed
Tina,
to understand things
Tina,
when you're not answering the question? All you're saying is based on your feelings.
Yes,
That's
because
it.
Tina,
that's
it's
how
literally all.
Anybody could feel
gender
anything.
identity.
But anybody could
Hold
listen.
on.
Wait, I let everybody talk and I
But
let them finish talking. But I
it's
let
all
y'all talk.
there.
But the thing is, you're just basing everything on your feelings. There is no objective truth with
That is
what you're
what our gender
saying.
identity is. Our gender identity is what is in our brain. That is why it
It's
is a
just
psychological
what you're
discomfort that
Well,
we
saying. It makes
feel.
no
it's also
sense.
how we view it's also how we view society. I'm
It's how
not
we
going to
view
sit here and say
ourselves.
I'm not going to sit here and say that I've lived the woman experience because I did not.
Are you
And I'm
biologically
not going to
female or
sit.
biologically male?
I'm not going to. Why? Sex and gender does not exclusively correlate. So why would I add? So why would I add that?
Because they do correlate with each other.
They
Just like
don't
trans
exclusively
person says
correlate.
that they were born in the
If
wrong
you
body,
that's
that just
that's
proves
great.
that
If you
gender and sex do
identify
correspond with
Hey
each
if
Tina.
other.
Hey Tina.
if you identify with the gender that apparently you was given at birth, then cool, great. But others don't do that. So that's why I'm saying that why am I sitting here correlating myself with what body parts I have to what society deem me as? Because again, that's not me. Like I'm not going to sit here
So
and correlate myself
you don't
with
feel
the
like a
part.
woman or a girl. Is that what you're saying?
No,
So,
I don't.
so okay, so what
I don't feel like a man either.
so how exactly do you feel? In order for somebody to be non-binary like yourself, what do you feel? Cuz
I
you have to
feel
connect it to
like a
something.
human just roaming around this earth. I feel like my gender or my sex doesn't dictate who I am in general because as you can see in society, stereotypes
So have you
happen.
always felt like
You
this,
know,
like since
stereo
you were born? Like since you could recall, not when you were
I
born, but like
yes,
from a very very young
yeah.
age, you've
Yeah.
always felt like you was
I've
not a woman or a man.
yes, I've always felt like I didn't associate myself, like I didn't connect with women or women's experience, or I didn't connect with a man or a man's experience.
I
I'm
mean
Can
literally
Tina.
I
just in the
can
middle.
I ask what a woman's experience is and what a man's experience is?
It's what we're
To be
socialized
honest,
with.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know because I don't experience
I mean, if
either
I could just,
side.
I mean,
I can't completely say it. What have you experienced? I could ask you that because you can
right,
answer that.
like
I can't.
I actually don't know what it's like to have to experience like my life as a cis person because I am quite literally not cis. Like,
So what are you exactly?
well, so like I'm kind of similar similar to Days actually. I use they them and he him pronouns. I consider myself non-binary, but I also consider myself transmasculine, and that's like an identity within being non-binary.
So how did you come to term with that? Like what did you feel?
I felt like so when I was like a child, I I wasn't really necessarily socialized male or it was like my family I grew up with like boys. So I grew up around a lot of like masculine energy. And then when I got into elementary school, I was socialized a lot more with women. Um but I never felt like I related to girls. I never felt like I like
So
uh
do you believe that
wanted to do the things that girls did, like
so you
et
would tie
cetera, et
gender
cetera.
stereotypes to that gender?
So these gender stereotypes were applied to me, and then eventually I ended up rejecting, these feminine stereotypes because they don't align with who I am as a person. And when I think about myself and who I truly am on the inside, I don't see someone who's feminine. I don't see someone who's womanly,
So you
who
tie
experiences
femininity to being a
womanhood.
woman, and you tie stereotypical gender roles into being a woman as well. That's what you're saying. So because you're not feminine
Yeah.
and because you don't like the typical woman things, that means you're not a woman. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That is not all there is. Like, you don't know how I experience my body from within myself and the dysphoria I experience either.
So you have gender dysphoria,
Yes.
and you have gender dysphoria, which means you want to be a
I
what
want to
gender?
be not a woman.
Which would be a
Simply
man.
put, no, not necessarily.
So how do you have
I
gender
literally just
dysphoria?
want to be human. If I have the body
You
parts
realize like non-binary people
of
can
whatever,
experience gender dysphoria? Do you realize that? That
Huh?
non-binary people that do you realize that non-binary people can and do experience gender dysphoria? and
But
that doesn't.
what are you tying non-binary to? Because you just tied being a woman to something, and obviously the opposite would be a man. So you could tie that to something. So what do you tie non-binary to?
Because I do not associate myself with either entirely. I don't like, yes, I lean more on the masculine side, but that doesn't inherently make me a man because I do not like fundamentally associate with the idea of being a man.
So, but my question is because anybody could be in the middle of balance of masculinity and femininity,
Yes.
or on one side, but that still
Yes.
doesn't change what they are. So that's my question to
Yeah,
you. Because I could
and
Right.
sit
see
here right
that.
now and tell you, wait,
Sorry.
I could tell you that I don't get my nails done. I never get my nails done. I do
Sure.
not wear makeup. I don't wear dresses. I don't wear heels.
Good.
But at the end of the
Great.
day, I'm still a woman. So
That's
I could tie
incredible.
being a woman to something because the definition is a woman is an adult female. I'm a female. So that means I'm a woman. I could tie that to something where I'm asking you to tie it to something and I don't hear anything. You're not tying it to anything.
Because I don't tie my gender to anything. Because
because it
I
isn't
identify as
exclusively
non-binary.
tied to
That is
anything.
But you
that is the
identifying as
concept.
something does not mean that you are something. Anybody could identify as anything that they want. Does it mean they are that? No.
Okay, but there's a difference though. If you don't experience
Why would it matter?
the woman
Why
experience,
does it matter
the
to you?
socio, so this wait, the socio woman experience or the masculine experience, how am I supposed to put me in a box if I don't associate with either?
Being
Just a
feminine and
question.
being
Just a question.
masculine
If I
is
can't,
does not equal a gender. Typically, men are masculine, yes, but there are feminine men as well who's more on the feminine side. But at the end of the day, they're still comfortable with calling themselves a man.
And there are
yes,
trans
and that
men
is
that
So
are
the
then
whole
masculine,
feminine
wait,
and
wait,
masculine
there
you
are
thing
see,
that
wait,
goes
trans
wait,
out
now
the
men that are
Tina,
window.
feminine. Like,
wait,
these
Tina, you see
things
that, right?
exist.
It all depends on this on the person. It's not like it literally all depends on the person. If you were sitting here and saying that again, it all depends on the person, especially a non-binary person. Certain non-binary people don't are not androgynous. Like certain non-binary people don't like go by the she her he him typical pronouns. Like it again, it depends on the person. So if the person tells you, yeah, I'm non-binary, I go by they he or they them, and like I haven't experienced the woman experience, like again they have to tell you personally. You can't just stereotype a certain thing and expect them to follow suit
But I
if
didn't
they don't
stereotype. I
experience
didn't
it.
do that because I said that
No,
there
that's
can
what.
be
No,
feminine men
I'm
and there
saying,
can
Tina.
be
I
masculine
didn't
women.
say. I didn't say
And
that. I
wait,
said in
and also
general.
also gender stereotypes that can be broken as well.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
part of
that's
why I
literally.
But
identify
they
as non-binary is because I've deconstructed those gender norms and constructs so far that I said I don't want to identify with those, and I want to identify with my own concept of masculinity, which is why I identify as transmasculine.
but that's not a gender.
Who's to say that? Do you know
Masculine and
what
feminine
gender
are not a
identity is?
gender. That's how you present
Again, you
yourself.
can't.
But
Okay,
you
I can
claim, wait, you
before.
claim to be
Wait.
non-binary first. You claim to be non-binary, and now you're
Wait.
claiming to be trans-masculine. So I'm a little lost.
And as I explained
First off,
before,
wait.
non-binary is
Trans
like
people.
an umbrella.
Yes, it's an umbrella with being trans. You do know that, right?
So you were diagnosed with gender dysphoria, and they said that you're trans-masculine.
Well,
No,
someone has to identify as
I haven't
trans.
listened
Someone's not gonna
to.
just give you that label. You have to identify that for yourself.
Okay,
Someone's not gonna
okay.
just
When
come out here
you
and
I got
go
say,
to
something
a
"Oh
for you.
well."
doctor, when you go to a doctor or a therapist, psychologist, they diagnose you with something. They say, okay, this is what you have. They don't say, oh well, you diagnose yourself and you feel comfortable, whatever. No, you have to tie
Wait,
that
that's
to
not
something.
like being transmasked is not a diagnosis.
I have
Okay,
something
but
for
she
you.
just said that she had
I
gender
have something for
dysphoria, which
you.
you do have to be diagnosed for. So I'm
Please
asking
don't call me
you, if
please.
you got diagnosed with gender dysphoria,
Excuse
then
me, ma'am. Excuse me,
what do
sir.
you
That's
have?
not the
Excuse me,
same.
sir.
That's
Please
not
don't call me
that's
please.
not what it is.
Can I
That's
can I
literally like
interject with
gender
something?
dysphoria.
Because
Yeah, go
you were
ahead.
asking what gender is, right? So your gender identity, this is just a Google search, or actually it's Yahoo, who cares, says a person's private sense and subjective experience of their own gender. This means it
Which
is
is based on what?
private, based on your private sense
Society.
of self and your
Based on
subjective
society,
experience of
society's gender
yourself.
role stereotypes.
So
I mean, yeah,
this is
but
a
again,
person's
with
private
identifying as
sense.
that, you have to have like yes, you have
Did you not just like hear what I
it goes
said?
the same thing.
Because I told you my own private experience, and then you're trying to pick it apart and tell me how, oh,
No,
well,
how you express
women.
yourself doesn't mean anything. That's not what I'm saying. You can express yourself as very feminine or very masculine. At the
Mhm,
end of the day, you're still you still have a biological sex and a gender. That's not what I'm
mhm.
saying.
No,
But
not
you're
no a
saying because
biological
but
sex,
you're saying
not a
no no,
gender.
because this is what you're saying. You're saying that you should break gender stereotypes, right, and forget about it. But at the same time, you're saying because I don't fit in these gender stereotypes, that means I'm not that gender. So which one is it?
Because you're mixing
You
in
could say that you
sex
believe
and
in gender
gender.
stereotypes and that's why you're this gender. You could tie those together. But if you say it doesn't exist, then how are you
Yes,
going
you
to
can
sit there
tie.
and say that because
Wait.
it doesn't exist? So how are you still tying it to something? How are you saying that, oh, because I don't fit these gender
Tina.
stereotypes, this is why I feel like this, but gender stereotypes don't exist? That's what I'm
Wait,
asking.
wait,
Do
wait.
exist, and they're
Tina,
imposed
you
upon me against my will, and I'm deconstructing them and using my will to decide how I want to be labeled
But at the
instead of
same time,
letting
you don't have
society
to
decide
fit
that.
these gender role stereotypes to
I
be the
don't.
gender that you
I never
are.
have.
Because I
And I never
don't. I
will.
wouldn't fit the gender stereotypical woman.
I never
But
have
that
and I
still
never
doesn't
will. That's
mean
why
that
I
that still does
identify
not
the
mean
way
that
that I
I'm a
do.
man. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So I'm
I
asking you, what do you,
understand that. But again,
yes,
a
and you
person's
see what you
gender
wait.
identity is their private sense and subjective experience of their own gender. That means you can't apply your ideas of gender onto me.
so do you have gender dysphoria?
I'm not diagnosed with it if that's what you want
So
to
then you do not have
try and
gender. If you
say.
have not been diagnosed with gender dysphoria, you don't have gender dysphoria.
If I know what I feel and I just haven't gotten diagnosed for it, like, okay,
I could sit here and be
whatever.
like, I
So
think I have
we can
bipolar
put that
disorder. I
aside.
think I have
We
PTSD.
can
I think I have
we can
depression. But if I'm
okay.
not diagnosed with it, it doesn't mean anything.
We can set the gender for dysphoria aside because you can be trans without having gender dysphoria.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I asked you, do you have gender dysphoria? You said yes. And when I asked you, when were you diagnosed? You didn't give me an answer. And then you said haven't went to a psychiatrist
Okay,
to be diagnosed with it. That's a
and I
gender
know I
dysphoria. You
have
have to be
ADHD and
diagnosed with
I
it.
haven't gotten diagnosed for it. Do you know how I know I have ADHD? It's because it's literally genetic and my whole family has it. Do I need
You could be
to
like, oh,
go to
I
the
have
doctor?
symptoms. Absolutely. You could be like, listen, I think I'm having these
Okay,
symptoms. You go
then
see
then
somebody.
let me
That's
clarify.
completely different. But to
Christina, let me
diagnose
clarify.
yourself, you cannot do that.
Wait,
Let me clarify.
this is why they ask and doctors, are you like does it run in what runs in your family? That's why they ask you what runs in your family because if it is genetic,
Let me
then it's
clarify.
possible that you could have it.
I
So my question to you is
have not been diagnosed.
how do you feel like you have gender dysphoria? Minus saying that you don't feel feminine or masculine, minus those. How do you feel like that you have gender dysphoria?
Aversion to my biological body parts.
So what gender do you want to be if you feel like you have gender dysphoria?
I have chest dysphoria. I don't know how far I would transition if I would take testosterone. Um, Again, this is like I would go to an actual professional, get diagnosed with gender dysphoria before I would make that decision. But it's just like at this point in my life, I can't just like it takes money and time and effort to go to a doctor for this.
So you would want to transition into being a man.
Not
You don't
necessarily.
have to like when you take testosterone, you don't have to automatically like transition into a man. Again, like certain trans people don't fully transition. Do you
Yeah.
know how many people I know that are trans but don't want to transition? But because of societal like standards, they feel like they're forced to transition.
I mean, from what I've seen, all the videos and stuff like that about people transitioning, I've always seen them say that they're uncomfortable with themselves, they're uncomfortable with their body parts,
Hmm.
and that they feel like they were born in the wrong body.
Hmm.
That's what I've seen, and most
Yeah,
of
that's
them
true
do.
Yeah.
for a
You
lot
know,
of trans
most of them
people.
do. Take hormone blockers and hormones, and socially transition and medically transition as well.
Hmm. But
Yeah.
if you're asking me personally, like where I am, and with my identity,
But
like
they
this is like
transform into the opposite gender. They say that they're gonna gender dysphoria. They transition into the opposite gender, and that's not
so.
based.
Because
Wait,
that
but that's not
wait,
based
because
on society. That's based on them feeling uncomfortable with themselves. That has to do with them internally, not maybe society, gender stereotypes. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely, that could play a part. But them feeling uncomfortable with themselves, that's on them mentally, not society. Because right now, if I
You
tell you
know,
that I'm
true.
uncomfortable with the way
Yeah.
I look and the way my body is, that's on me. That's not society telling me anything. That's me being uncomfortable with myself. So that's what I'm saying. People who
That's literally what
transition,
I experience on a daily basis. That's the thing. Is like I feel like you don't even listen to people like me. Just because
I
I'm
no,
not
I listen to you, and
transitioning.
that's why I asked you if you're feeling uncomfortable
Yes.
in yourself. What you're describing is the body of a biological male, which would be a man. That's why I asked you, do you want to transition into being a man?
Not necessarily. I know non-binary people who got top surgery and that solved their dysphoria. Not all your dysphoria is about, oh, I need to change this from one gender to another. It can be this part doesn't belong and I want this part instead. It can be I just don't want this part here. It can be a lot of things. Maybe you just want body hair and that's what would solve your gender dysphoria.
But most of the people who do that, they want to be the opposite gender, hence trans man, trans woman. I've never heard of trans non-binary, trans anything else besides man and
I'm
woman.
sorry
That
you
was
don't
my
know
point.
about the non-binary community and people like that, but they exist. We exist. We
But
have
that's not what I'm
experiences.
saying. I'm,
I
I'm
can
not
show
saying
you
that you don't exist.
many
I'm literally just
experiences.
I'm asking you what you feel, and if
Okay.
you feel uncomfortable, what you're describing is you basically want a man's body.
So
That's
you're
what
trying to tell me how I experience things and how I should
I'm telling
identify.
you how I'm interpreting it.
And I don't care
Wait, wait,
how
wait.
you
Wait,
interpret
wait,
it.
wait, wait.
Because what you're
It is my
describing is a
personal,
biological male's
it
body.
is my, it is my
No, just
private
because wait, wait,
sense
wait.
and subjective experience of my gender, of
Wait,
my
wait, wait.
gender.
Just because wait, for example, if you want to get like a re how do you say that? Like to size your boobs down. That's not necessarily meaning that you want to be a man. You could literally can still have the female parts, but you don't associate
A breast
yourself with the
reduction is
parts.
completely different.
That's literally what non
Breast
that's
If
reduction
literally what
you're
can be
non
if
gender
you're
no.
affirming for
suffering from
people.
No,
gender
that
dysphoria,
also wait, wait,
if you're
wait. That
suffering from
also
gender
can
dysphoria
interpret
and want
in
to take off
non-binary.
body parts that are completely healthy and trans, that's gender dysphoria. You going for
You're
breast
always saying
reduction has nothing
opposite
to do with
gender.
gender. That's a horrible analogy.
I just recommend you
That's
learn
part of
about
it though.
non-binary
But that's why I'm
people.
sitting here and I'm asking you questions about the non-binary experience, and I'm not getting
Yes,
any
and
real solid
we're
answers.
literally
Yeah,
trying
because
to
we don't speak for
because
not
there's the
every non-binary person ever. You need to
So then,
like do
how am I going to
research on
educate
that.
myself on every single person that's non-binary if I don't have a definitive answer?
Go on
you
Google, look
can't
up
because everyone
non-binary, follow non-binary creators online, look at their experiences, listen to them, just meet people who are non-binary. That is it. And we don't expect you to know everything overnight, but we expect you to try and understand our experience.
But how am I supposed to understand? Am I
wait,
supposed
wait,
to
wait,
really
wait,
sit
wait.
there
And
and ask
another
every single person who's non-binary, what's your experience? What's your experience? What's your experience? What's your experience? If they're all different,
No,
so how do you expect somebody to educate themselves in general on this topic if when
just
you ask
try.
people, these are the answers that you're getting?
I am
wait,
trying
wait.
to answer you in the
Can
best
I answer
way
this,
I
host?
can, and it doesn't seem to be
Can I
good
answer
enough
this?
for you.
Wait, wait, wait. Hold on. Yes, you can have a definitive answer and a solid answer as to what happens within the community. But again, there comes a significant answer, but then there comes parts of the answer. Everyone that identifies as non-binary or as trans do not have the same experiences.
Hmm.
So, yes, you can have a definitive answer of what non-binary is and what transgender means. but it's up to you whether or not you want to expand your knowledge by asking different people of that community. It's not a definitive, like it's not an exact answer, because everyone is different.
You know, when I
So
want to like
how do you expect
learn
people to be
about
educated on it if the experience
when
is
I
different
want
for
to
everybody?
learn about Black
Because I
history,
just
I
explained it
don't just
though.
follow and listen to one Black person. I follow multiple Black people and I listen to them and I do research and I read books. And this true for everything that you don't understand about people, that you can't experience for yourself. You go and you find those people and you talk to them and you learn about their experiences, and you will learn that every person is different. Every Black
So then
person is
how do
different. Every
you come
trans
to the
person is
conclusion
different.
that
Again,
you are non-binary
and
if the
another wait,
experience is
wait.
different for every single person? How do you pinpoint that you're non-binary if every single experience is different? What's the experience
Because
that
I
you're
don't
feeling? How does that
identify
dictate
Okay,
that you're
as a
actually,
man
non-binary?
and I don't identify as a
wait,
woman.
actually, wait. Let me give you another example. So we all know that every religious person is different, right? So I'm not gonna sit there and talk to one person of that religion and be like, "Yo, what's the tea? What's good? Like, what do I have to know?" I'm not gonna sit there and talk to that one person and just say, "Oh, that's it. That's the main tea. That's the main information that I need." No, I have to talk to everyone. For example, certain religious people are accepting of LGBTQ people. Some are not. Some are pro-choice. Some are pro-life. Like, again, it is not a definitive answer. It's not an exact answer. I'm not going to sit there and speak to one religion and then not and then just have my distinct answer.
Exactly.
It's the
Uh,
same thing
uh,
with gender. It's the same thing with non-binary. It's the same thing. Like, it's the same thing with everything, actually, because
but
everyone
you can
experiences different
pinpoint, you
things.
could talk about religion with solid answers. You could talk about pro-choice, pro-life with solid answers. It's not based on what the individual is feeling. It's not based on their feelings.
No, it's based on the
It's based
experience
on
of the person.
it's based on their opinions, but
It's
they could
based on the
pinpoint that to
experience of
something.
the
You're
person.
asking their opinions. That's the point, is you're going out and asking people who have different opinions than
For
you,
example,
who have
pro-life,
different
pro-choice, you could
experiences.
bring science into involved in that. They
Yes.
have
Yes,
proof
but
of
you can also
backup,
bring
and
someone's
they could
experiences
pinpoint
and
it
what
to
they went
something.
through to come to that conclusion.
Even religion, if it gets against their religion, they could pinpoint, I'm pro-life, I'm pro-choice because of my religion. They're pinpointing it to something.
Yes, and
It's
also
connected
their
to something.
experience
Whereas
with it.
this right there, what we're talking about right now, is not connected to anything. So that's why I'm confused.
It is connected because, again, it involves everything. Like, if you're talking to a specific person about this certain topic that you want to know, everyone in that type of group is not going to give you the same answer. Again, like I said, with religion, you are not going to come to one group or one person of that group and say, "Yo, what's good?" And someone tells you one thing, but then someone's going to go around and you're going to go to the next person and they're going to say another thing. Again, it's not a definitive answer. Again, it's just your experiences and what you go through within that group. Again, as a black person, I'm not gonna like, if someone that's not black comes up to me and be like, "Yo, do you have you ever got arrested? Like, has the police ever been aggressive with you?" I've never gotten arrested, like, or anything like that. So I'm not gonna say, "Oh yeah, well, this is what happens." But again, people experience different things. So
Hmm.
I could say that, and then the next person would say, "Oh yeah, so I've experienced police brutality, but I haven't." So again, you can't go to everyone or go to that one person and get the exact answer, because again, there's no exact answer. It
But
just
that's an
depends on
experience. That's not
whose
a feeling. That's something
experience.
that you experience in life. We all of us do
Experiences
not
does go with
experience.
feeling though.
No, no. But if somebody is doing
It,
something
it,
to
it,
you,
All right. I'm gonna
that's
do it
your
again.
experience with that. And not
I'm
everybody is
gonna
going
do
to
it
have
again.
that same exact experience. What I'm asking you is just a general feeling of how did you come to
Gender
term with.
identity. Gender
yes.
identity is defined as a person's private sense and subjective experience of their own gender. So that means every person you talk to is going to have a different and private experience with their gender. That does it is regardless of whether you're cisgender or not.
still can't point it to anything. So
Why should
how
I
would you
have
know?
to?
Again, it's
What
But
do you mean
how
based
by
would
on
you know
private?
if
you.
you
I mean,
can't tie
if
it to
It's my
anything? That's what I'm
private
saying.
and
I understand
subjective
what you're saying.
experience.
It's a subjective experience. Great, got it. But how
Why
do
do
you
I
know
need to
what you're
point it to
experiencing
anything?
is that?
you
How do
can
you know
tie
that
it
what
to
you're experiencing is
you can
non-binary?
tie
How do you know that the
Because how do
colors
I
you
know that
see
me
are those
during
colors?
what I experience, how do I know that what I'm experiencing right now is not non-binary? And I'm just going around saying that I'm a woman.
Sure, you could realize that some years down the line. Who knows?
you could literally tie non-binary to the human experience. Also, non-binary people don't just like experience either man or woman experiences. They could experience both. So
Or
again,
neither.
you everyone's exactly everyone is different. Again, it's based on experience and like what you went through as oneself. You can't like again, it's the same thing with everything. Like we talked about
It's really not, because if I
like
look at the definition of a man and a woman, there's a valid definition.
okay, you could look up
You could
non-binary
try
and get
that
an
too.
exact definition too.
And you realize like man and woman are socialized concepts that have well evolved over time. You know, men heels used to be for men, et cetera, like that. So those things have changed over time, right? Um, and there's always been like in other cultures and throughout history, third genders that are neither male nor female. So these concepts aren't new. Um, it but socially we don't have the socialization of a non-binary gender. That's why, like, you know, we can't just pin it to one thing. Oh, this is what this is my gender experience and here's the evidence for it, is because of that.
Okay.
Again, if you really look at it, it's not an exact you can't pin it. You say you can't pin it to anything because again, non-binary, if you put it into if you could pin it to something, it's about the human experience. If you really are trying to pin it to something, it's literally the human
Like
experience of
it's really
oneself.
hard.
Well, what human experience? What are
It's
we
really
experiencing?
hard for one person to just like sum up their experience, their whole entire experience with their gender. And like you said, like you don't wear nail polish, you can't tie your gender to that. You don't do X, Y, and Z, you don't tie your gender to that. You don't tie your gender to those things. You
I
supposedly
tie
just
by
tie it to the
definition
fact
just
that you're a
woman is an
female.
adult female, therefore I am a woman. It's as
Cool,
simple as that.
but I don't agree with that. For me personally, I don't agree with that.
And that's
How
great
do
for
you,
you,
but how,
Tina.
wait, but how do
That's great
you
that you can
not agree with
associate
that when that's
yourself.
okay?
Wait. That's great that you can associate
Okay.
yourself with the sex you are and the gender you were assigned at birth. Great. That's awesome. But again, everyone is different. I'm not going to sit here and associate what you associate yourself with because that is
And
not
you
me.
you cannot relate to the experience of not aligning with your sex, right? You were born female and you feel affirmed in that. You feel as though you were a woman because you are a female. Some people don't feel that way. Some people want to change that about themselves.
And that's fine. I've never had any objections with that. If
Yeah.
you
And
do what you
so
want to make
that's
yourself
okay
happy,
so
that's
long as
absolutely
that
fine.
person.
But you can't get mad at for people trying to understand,
I'm not trying
per
to get
se
mad
your
at you
life.
for trying to
No, but
understand.
per se, wait, per se your lifestyle or something like that. When you're telling everybody to educate themselves, but when you ask questions, it's a mess.
Did
That's
I
Right,
that's
but
all
that's
I'm
not
saying.
but that's not what we're doing. We're not getting mad because you're asking questions. We get mad when people just blatantly disrespect. Like again, we can tell the difference between someone being like genuinely curious versus someone being disrespectful. If someone is being genuinely curious, they're not gonna use what that other lady just did. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna ask questions, and if we answer them, they're gonna be like, all right, okay. Would you like to give me different sources to look up? She didn't even ask any of that. All she did was disrespect blatantly and just said, all right, I'm gonna identify as this now since y'all can identify as that. Like it's pretty simple if you can tell the difference between someone being genuine and someone being just a straight up dick. Just saying. I mean, at least I can.
And
I don't
you
know
can
about y'all,
tell
but I know I can.
you can tell the difference between you asking questions to understand us as people versus you trying to ask us questions to create arguments to break down our
But
identity and
why is it so frowned
invalidate our
upon
identity.
to maybe debate somebody's argument or pinpoint things in your argument? Why is that such a wrong thing to do?
But that's not pin.
You are
Again,
also
with
asking me about my personal experience and not objective things. It's a lot like you're
Because you
coming
said
at
that it's
me
subjective. You said
personally.
that it's based on everybody's personal experience. So I
Yes.
asked you, what's
So
your personal experience?
these conversations are very personal, which is why I tell you to go like if you know trans people in your real life or you know that there are non-binary people in your real life, I encourage you to go and have private conversations with those people about their identity and
I
try
mean,
to
I
understand them
know
as
a ton of
people.
transgender people. I don't know any non-binary people, but I do, and I'm best friends with one that's a transgender woman.
Yeah, so I implore you to try and meet
So what I'm saying is, I
non-binary
understand the
people.
things that they're going through with gender dysphoria, etc.,
Okay?
and how they feel, and they could pinpoint things to why they feel uncomfortable with themselves or in
Okay?
society. But what I've never gotten answers to was the whole non-binary thing.
And I was trying to answer that to you.
But
That I okay, and it like here's the thing with your bodily discomfort, right? With dysphoria, right? There
okay,
are things that are for non-binary people we are indifferent to, and there's other things that we would change about ourselves, right? So some non-binary people just get top surgery. There's a TikToker on here. Um, I forget their name, Freddie, something like that. Um, they just have top surgery. They have made no other alterations whatsoever. Their dysphoria that they experienced from their chest is gone. Okay? And I know other trans people who get there's people who start estrogen, but they still identify as non-binary. There are certain characteristics that they are looking for to alleviate certain dysphoria symptoms because dysphoria isn't a 100%, oh, I am 100% comfortable with all of my,
so
you know,
you feel just
sexual characteristics
you
and I
feel
want to change
non-binary
all of them
because
to the
gender
opposite thing.
stereotypes, because you don't fit the gender stereotypes
no.
with
No,
men or
that's
women.
not what I'm
So
saying.
neither.
It's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about dysphoria right now. Do you want to talk about dysphoria? Because that seems to be the validating factor for you. What seems to make
I mean, the
being
gender
trans
dysphoria is
valid.
if a biological male feels uncomfortable in his body and wants to transition into a woman,
Yeah,
and vice versa with a
yes.
biological female.
So dysphoria isn't just a 100% thing where you are uncomfortable with 100% of. There are people who experience, dysphoria about certain aspects of themselves and not others. And so they want
Yeah.
to change those things, but not everything. And there are people who they don't, they don't relate with being a male or a female. And then, they may or may not go through gender affirming, care. And these people are not, you wouldn't identify them. You'd probably look at them and be like, what is that it thing, Like, because,
I mean, I wouldn't call someone an it.
yeah, but, a less kind people would. Um, I'm certain you wouldn't, but I'm certain you're better than that. But, Anyways, I am really trying to explain to you the fact that, I mean, if you look into the research, you can look into the research backs this up, that dysphoria is not a 100% thing. So, there are people who don't transition, quote unquote, all the way, so to speak. They're not jumping from one end of the spectrum all the way to the other. Then maybe they're going from one end to somewhere in here or outside of the spectrum. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay. Um.
So that was your answer to your questions.
I think we just need to like know that everyone is not going to be the same. Everyone's not a robot copying each other. We're literally individual human beings with different experiences, and if you have the same experience, cool. Like that's great. Why don't you talk about it? But then also there are other people that don't experience what the typical person would experience, but then there are other people that experience part of it but not all of it. So again, like it goes for everything, and even gender. If someone is experiencing a different thing than you are, maybe you can ask questions. Maybe you can like see what like
But
how they interpret different
I'm
things.
not gonna get a
All
general
right.
answer if it's
I'm seeing
based.
people asking me to let someone else in.
Yeah,
because
I
it's
don't know if
not a
you want to
general
let
answer.
Chi.ygn in, but yeah, she's
Let me
pretty
see
good.
who's been waiting the most. Oh, Felix requested to join back in 40 minutes ago. Jesus fuck. Um,
I'm just
the
saying,
chief
like
person you said?
it's not a like genuine answer. We're not going to give you a genuine answer because there is no genuine
It
answer.
is our
It's literally based
subjective.
on experience. Yeah.
So then you would just tell people don't ask questions and just accept it at that point.
No,
Then
we want you to ask questions.
No. Wait,
The thing is, the answer is always going to be different.
so how am I gonna know stuff? Oh Lord, yeah, okay,
Tina.
nope.
Tina. You know I love you, right?
Is every black person the same? Is every gay person the same? Is every lesbian? Is it these you? If
No,
you
but I'm
want to
not
know
saying
about
that
these
you have to be the
people,
same, but there are similar symptoms, just like people with gender dysphoria. Listen, some people are
I'm
uncomfortable with their
explaining
bottom,
that to
you know what
you.
I mean, and some
Is that
aren't.
non-binary people can experience dysphoria and they don't identify with being a man or a woman. This is what I've been trying to
But
explain to
I'm
you.
not
You
getting
both
like
don't
any
understand.
answer.
Wait, Tina.
That
That's
is
what I'm.
the
Wait,
answer.
Tina.
and that's complete. Listen, if you think it's based on individuality, that's fine. I'm gonna have to take that answer. I mean, do I
Wait.
agree with it? No, I don't. But
Wait, Tina.
yes,
Can I tell you something?
go ahead.
You know I love you, right? You know like, I can feel you're genuinely trying to understand. I feel like we can have very good conversations.
I agree.
But we're trying to tell you that it's not it's not inclusive to one thing. That's what non-binary is. It's not inclusive to one person to the other. It's literally experience this,
Yeah.
what's going on, like it's literally just genuinely, it's literally just hot. Like, how are you? Like, what have you experienced? Like, you can associate those type of things to a certain thing, but if they don't, but if they tell you otherwise, then that's all you can do. And I know you're like, I know certain people are genuinely trying to understand, but again, all you have to know is that it is not exclusive to one person. If someone tells you one thing and someone tells you another thing, it's not wrong. Like, it's just based on oneself and who experienced what.
Like if you want to understand a group of people that you just like intrinsically you will never experience what they experience, you're going to have to speak to multiple of those people, maybe do some research, you know. This is true for every group, not just non-binary
I
people.
mean, but how am I
And
going
we're
to do
not
research if it's based on everybody's all non-binaries people different
there are
experiences and
take
what
statistics
they go through?
about
take
So how
different
do
non-binary
I?
people.
take
There are
wait take
experiences.
different aspects of the experiences and just write questions down and then search those questions up. Like,
But that's what
I
I
mean,
just
there's
did.
many
I
ways
just
you can do
asked you
it.
questions with gender stereotypes, gender
And
roles, all
we're
that
saying
stuff. That
Yeah,
that's
and
what
we
I
we're
asked
saying
you.
and we
don't just
answered all those
depend on us
things.
to answer your questions and say, okay, now I understand non-binary people. I'm not going to ask anyone anymore. We want you to ask as many people as you can. Because again, like I I can't just, take one perspective from a religious person and say every religious person feels this way about this. And same for like
Again,
same,
like I said, there's
even
different examples.
even when it comes to cis women and cis men, you can't just take one portrayal of a cis man or a cis woman and say this is what defines every single man or woman,
I mean,
right?
you wouldn't say that defines you as a man, but the objective thing is biological males are men and biological females are women. That's the objective truth. How you style yourself and etc. present yourself, that's completely up to the individual.
Yeah, that's why it's called your
But
gender
then that's the thing.
identity.
It
It,
doesn't
it is
associate
your
if you don't
it is
associate what
your
you're.
subjective experience with yourself in your gender identity. And you realize that is independent to you, and so is for me, right?
I mean, we can agree to disagree at this point.
All right. I mean, respect for you. I mean, I again, I do recommend you at least, try to talk to other non-binary people in your life, or just follow non-binary creators. And you don't have to just like ask everybody all the time. You can just view people's experiences. You don't even have to comment on their content. This is the thing, is I try to get so many different perspectives of experiences I don't understand to try and understand people more. And that is with mental illness, it's with race, it's with everything in my life, other people's gender identities.
Right.
And so,
Espe- Especially with mental illness, you got to watch out for that, because
mm,
certain people with this mental illness is not going to act the same. For example,
mm,
autism. Many people with autism don't experience, are not like the stereotypical thing that people put on people that are autistic. So again, like, it goes for everything. You can't just say one thing and then expect people to follow suit to that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, different people different people are going to experience the different things, and if you have the same thing that the other person has but don't have the same experiences, then that's how it is. That's what life is. Like, you're not going to have, you may have the same thing as this person, but if you don't have the same experiences, or like if someone tells you something different that they experience within what they have, then it's not wrong. Like, it's just how someone experienced that certain thing.
I mean, I'm
You
not
could
saying
put
people's
you could put
experiences are wrong. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
feel
no,
there's an
I'm
objective truth to everything. I feel like, this is just very
I just feel like
subjective.
it's
but like,
like you're
is it
you're
really though?
projecting your subjective experience as an objective reality for everybody. That's how it
But
feels.
wait, but Tina, is it though? Because let's be honest, certain women that do identify as a cis woman does not have would not have the same experiences as another cis woman.
Yeah, but
So I mean,
experiences are, that's based on the individual and what they go through life. That's, based on them.
That
Not all
that's
two
what
people have
gender
the
yes,
same
identity is
experience.
it
based
goes
on.
it goes
But
for
they
the
said
same
they
thing for
are both
everything
still
though.
women. It doesn't change that just because their experiences
Yes,
are
they're
not the
both
same
still,
doesn't make
because
them
they
less of a woman.
identify because they
Your
identify
gender
as that.
identity is based off of your experience. That's what the definition told us.
And yes, like you said, because they're both cis women, because they said in this scenario they said they're both cis head women.
But
If
not
it was
because of
something
their
different,
experiences. They're
if it
women
was no
because they're
no
biologically female, not because of their experiences. There's a difference.
no, because they specifically said, yo, I am cis woman because I associate my gender with my sex. That's all that is.
By
And if
definition, if you
someone
look up the
doesn't
definition of a
associate,
woman,
and
it's an adult
but
female.
if right, and we can also say that,
We can
the
also
word
add the
female, you
descriptor in front of that, trans or cis. So that would alter it. If you put trans in front of it, that means that person was born a male and now identifies as female, or a transition to female. And then you could put cis in front of that. That means that person actually does identify with being a female.
Like
So
it's
I
not like
I
you're gonna
hate
it's
call
it's not
like
like you're
I
gonna
mean,
look at the it's not like you're gonna search something and then it's just not be a definition in front of what you put
you
unless
can't
there's not.
transition your sex internally.
But you're
That's
associating the
not a
sex
thing.
with the gender, and that's not exclusively what it
Which
is.
would mean that sex and gender do correspond with each other.
We never said it doesn't. We said
I,
certain people don't associate themselves with the sex and the same gender. Tina,
but
come
that's
on.
why if you are a biological man and a biological male and you're
Yes,
saying that you're a woman,
because that's
you're saying
based
that
on their individual self. If it was up to them, they would not. If certain trans people don't want to transition, but again, it's how they feel.
or can't
I
transition.
feel like there's just a lot of feelings going on here.
It's not feeling.
Oh God
It's
forbid.
literally just what you have experienced. And experience equals factual. Experience could also equal opinion. And experience can also equal facts. Like it's literally
No,
just
opinions are not
mixed.
facts.
No, if you say
Opinions are
something and
opinions.
if no,
Yeah,
if
that's
you
just
say
a lot of
something, if you say an opinion and if someone can disprove it or prove it, it's either truth or it's a lie. So yes, facts can also be opinions. If you
Facts
oh
say
should
wait,
be
something
backed
out
yeah.
up
loud,
by
if you
I
say
proof.
if
can
wait wait
turn
wait,
my
if you
head.
say
An
something
opinion
out loud
cannot
and
be.
if no wait, if you say something out loud, right? And if someone said, "Oh, well, where could I find that? Like where could I find your opinion based comment?" And if they proved you, then that is a fact.
Then it's my opinion is not an opinion, it's a fact because you have proof to back yourself up.
Yes, we both have proof that we can back ourselves up with.
But an
I'm
opinion,
just saying, like again,
if I say right now, if I say Roman Reigns is the best looking man alive, if I say that, is that an opinion or a fact?
I, it could also listen. Let me tell you something.
Mm.
I could agree with you, and many people can agree with you, and we can look up this information and see and see what's up. Like, are there articles stating that they are this beautiful
But
human? Like,
beauty is subjective.
yes,
Everybody
and
has a
you
different
wait,
So
different
it's
thing
Tina,
of
the
beauty.
you
experience
see
of
what you
your
just did?
gender identity.
There you go, Tina. There you
But
go.
we could
Like,
pinpoint it.
that's
I could
what.
be like, listen, for a man to be beautiful in my eyes, he has to have long hair. Somebody else could be like, listen, in order for a
Yeah,
man to be beautiful, he could have short hair. But you still could pinpoint that to
You
something.
realize how it's different for those two
yes, you
people?
can,
So
but you
is
can.
like everybody's gender experience. It's different.
But you can't
Who's
pinpoint
like?
it to anything really. That's the difference.
Yes,
That's what I'm saying.
I can say I want to look this way, I want to get these surgeries, and this is how I want to identify. That is what is specific to my gender identity. That is what I'm pinpointing. Is it not?
But what you had stated, yeah, okay, yeah, we're just we're just gonna go around in
All
circles at
right.
this
You know,
point.
I will let you go. But
It was nice
thank
talking to you, Tina.
thanks for sticking
But
around.
uh,
Yeah, you too. You guys are pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. You're very respectful.
We
So
tried.
yeah, all right. So take
very
care.
much.
You too. All right. Gosh, there's a lot of people, and it's like 12 a.m. for me.
Listen,
I
put
don't
someone
even
on, and
finish
I got
it.
you. You don't even have to. You don't even